Muy buenos días, ¿cómo se encuentran? Ojalá y bien. Eso es mi deseo, que todos sus planes para hoy sean realizados, que el día sea un día fructífero y que ojalá y que la semana haya sido una semana, hasta ahora miércoles, una semana fructífera. Es más, con mucho éxito. Muchas veces no nos van las cosas como queremos que vayan y nos desanimamos. Pero recuérdate una cosa, que con paciencia llegas a la gloria. Muchas veces si es que no lograste, es porque quizás no estás preparado para llegar a este punto. Así que inténtalo de nuevo. Vas a aprender algo que no sabías antes. Y hasta cuando ya lo hayas hecho bien, entonces puedo decirte que estás listo para hacerlo. Es más, Dios nos da lo que necesitamos justo cuando lo necesitamos, pero a veces nos aguanta y nos dice, no estás listo para esto todavía aún, porque esto se está protegiendo de algo, de un error en el futuro. Así yo veo las cosas. Soy bastante positivo, optimista y me he notado que si veo la vida de otra forma, es bastante negativo, caigo en mucho de lo que yo titulo debí haber hecho esto, debí haber hecho otro. No, ya sucedió. Ahora debo de aprender sobre mis experiencias. Y si es que no estoy logrando lo que quiero hacer, entonces intentarlo hasta que lo logre. Eso es mi punto. Compañeros, buenos días, bienvenidos al SugarCity MorningShow. Estamos transmitiendo en vivo desde Nortevisión, Canal 10, aquí en la calle San Lorenzo. Y es un gran gusto poder llegar hasta la privacidad de sus hogares. Muy buenos días. Como siempre, empezamos nuestro programa con una oración y te pido a que te unas conmigo a decir: Padre, gracias por todas tus bendiciones. Hoy, miércoles 31 de julio, te doy las gracias por haber visto un mes más. Hoy te pido que pueda llover más veces y más años y poder vivir en plenitud, vivir en bienestar, vivir en paz, poder vivir con alegría, en amor, poder vivir en paz, sí, en paz es lo que quiero decir. En paz conmigo, con mi Dios, con tu Padre y con mis familias y las personas alrededor de mí. Te pido, Padre, que hoy todas mis acciones me conduzcan a la paz. Que hoy todas mis acciones los piense 2 y 3 veces hasta poder llegar a una conclusión y decir: hoy hago esto para construir paz alrededor de mí. No voy a hacer nada que lastime al prójimo, no voy a hacer nada que cause problemas, no voy a hacer nada para agraviar una situación. Hoy te lo entrego, Padre. Este es tu día. Te doy las gracias por todo, Padre, y te pido como siempre por los viejitos, por los jóvenes, los niños que están con hambre, descalzos, de los enfermos en los hospitales, en sus casas, en las cárceles. Te pido también por todos nosotros, Padre, que tengamos un día exitoso. Padre, te alabamos, te bendecimos y te glorificamos siempre. Amén. Good morning. If you've just joined us, it's exactly, vamos a ver, 7 minutes after 7 o'clock. We're transmitting live from Nortevisión Canal 10. Estamos transmitiendo en vivo desde Nortevisión Canal 10, aquí en la calle San Lorenzo. Y disculpa que la señal no está también para la transmisión por aire, pero es un problema que cada que llueve se acumula cierta humedad en nuestros switches, en la torre, y hasta que el sol lo seque, entonces entra bien la señal. Pero estamos transmitiendo por cable a todo el país de Belice. Muy buenos días, good morning. Corozal, Orange Walk, Belice, Ciudad de Belice, también Belmopan, Santa Elena, San Ignacio, Benque Viejo y San José Socots, y también Dangriga y Punta Gorda. Good morning, buenos días a todos. Perdón, es un gran gusto saludarles. Como siempre, ahora vamos al General Weather Forecast. Perdón. Y hoy, primero en inglés, today it says relatively moist and unstable conditions continue to dominate our weather. The 24-hour forecast. We're going to be seeing sunny skies with some cloudy spells today, partly cloudy skies tonight. A few showers and isolated thunderstorms will occur mostly over southern and inland areas today. Elsewhere, showers will be isolated. The winds blowing from the east at 5 to 10 knots. The sea stays slight, in other words, almost without moving. The temperatures on the coast, 88 as a high, 80 as a low. Inland, 95 degrees as a high and 74 degrees as a low. And the hills, 84 degrees as a high and 68 degrees as a low. There are no warnings, no advisories, no alerts. But quickly, let's go to the National Hurricane Center. That's showing that there is an area of disturbed weather producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms stretching from Puerto Rico to the Bahamas. And that's meant to go up to the Bahamas and possibly even to the Florida, to Florida. But there's also a second system, a second tropical wave located several hundred miles away from the Cape Verde Islands, and is producing widespread cloudiness. That system is meant to go pretty much the same way, although we're not sure yet. It's meant to go into the Caribbean by the end of the week or so, but and it's showing a little bit more possibility of development than the other one that's up in Puerto Rico. So we just have to be careful and monitor the news. Monitor. In other words, don't listen to what NASA tells you across in the market or whatever. Listen to the news, and that's the only way to go forward. But at the moment, there is nothing in the forms of threats or hurricanes or anything like that that can cause us problems. Nothing at all. Just let me quickly go back to my page here, and because I lost it. Yes, now we're back. And the outlook for tomorrow, Thursday and Thursday night is for mainly fair weather with only isolated showers developing. A high tide occurs this morning at 8:55, a low tide at 4:07, a second high tide at 10:28 tonight, and the second low tide tomorrow morning at 3:15. The sun rose this morning at 5:31, that is 29 minutes before 6, and the sun is setting this evening at 6:26. There's no stopping it now. The moon is setting this evening at 6:20 and rising tomorrow morning at 2 minutes before 6 o'clock. No, buenos días. Aquí les va el reporte del estado del tiempo para hoy. Y si no sé si estuvieron despiertos, pero anoche cayó una llovita. Y pues estuvo muy bueno porque refrescó la noche. Hoy, condiciones relativamente inestables y húmedas continúan controlando nuestro clima sobre el país de Belice. Entonces, para las siguientes 24 horas, estaremos viendo cielos soleados con periodos de nubosidad durante el curso del día, hoy, parcialmente nublado por la noche. Vamos a estar viendo chubascos y tronadas ocurriendo en la porción sur del país y en áreas del interior del país hoy durante el curso del día. Así que existe la posibilidad de una tronada hoy durante el curso del día. No define exactamente dónde en el interior, pero posiblemente aquí sea en el sur, no lo sabemos. Por otro lado, los chubascos serán completamente aislados. Los vientos del este de 5 a 15 nudos, en la zona del mar ligera, pero casi inmóvil. Temperaturas por la costa, 88 una máxima, 80 con una mínima. En el interior, 95 con una máxima y 74 grados como una mínima. Por las colinas, bastante más confortable, pues 84 como una máxima y únicamente 68 grados como una mínima. No hay advertencias en el lugar, no hay huracanes. Sí, nos toca vigilar y escuchar nada más las noticias, porque resulta que pues ya estamos entrando en el tiempo cuando queda más activo las tormentas, mucho más activo. Típicamente e históricamente, vamos a ponerlo históricamente, para nosotros la temporada empieza mediados de agosto y tiene su máximo como el 11-12 de septiembre, y luego entonces continúa para el resto de septiembre y octubre. Así que son los 3 meses que tenemos que tener el ojo al Cristo. Por el momento no existe nada como que represente una amenaza para Belice, enteramente no hay nada así, pero sí hay olas tropicales ahí fuera, pero están yendo más al norte que a nosotros, pero siempre tenemos que estar vigilándolo, porque pues a veces estas cosas tienen su propia mente y no siguen los pronósticos, vamos a ponerlo así, no siguen los pronósticos, pero compañeros, aquí estaremos nosotros avisándoles acerca de todo esto. ¿Qué se espera mañana jueves y jueves por la noche? Buen tiempo, con chubascos aislados ocurriendo por todo el país. Una marea alta a las 8:55, una marea baja a las 4:07 hoy por la tarde, otra alta a las 10:28 por la noche y otra baja a las 3:15 mañana por la madrugada. El sol salió hoy a las 5:31, el sol se oculta a las 6:26 y también la luna se oculta a las 6:20 y sale de nuevo en todo su esplendor a las 6:02 mañana por la mañana. Muchas gracias. Vamos a ver, Forecaster Michael Gentle por esa información. También agradecidos a nuestros patrocinadores, como siempre, a Digi, muchas gracias. Estamos hablando también de A&R Stores, donde es la única tienda que necesitas ir para conseguir todo para prepararte para ir de vuelta a la escuela. Todo. Back to school in A&R's is a one-stop shop. It is a one-stop source. In other words, ahí vas a conseguir tus exercise book, presentation boards, lápices, rulers, bueno, tus bags. Y cuando se trata de school bags, mamma mía, tiene una variedad increíble. Visit A&R's. Hoy, tan pronto puedas, corre, porque todo su stock está, bueno, por todo el país se vende el producto y créeme que todos van ahí. También vamos a dar las gracias a German Vega & Sons, Vega Imports, Vega Distributors, Juliet's Meat Shop, Government of Belize Information Service, Belize Tours Board y that's it. Vamos a una pausa a las 7:17. Hoy tenemos invitados, hoy tenemos el ministro Elodio Aragón con nosotros, así que vamos rápidamente a una pausa y estaremos de vuelta con ustedes tan pronto estos anuncios.
Take a journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. Diginet Boost is countrywide. Taking the leads into the future. Nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, Diginet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. The leads is powered by Diginet. Diginet Boost, now available countrywide.
Six cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Every friendly competition has a winner and a loser, a runner-up, a second best, someone that just doesn't have what it takes. Our friends know this feeling all too well. Since Digi introduced their new prepaid data plans, Digi fans have been happier than ever. While the other guys, their plans just can't even compare. Digi's new plans have the best value for your dollar. That's more data for less money, with even more options. So keep being a winner and keep living your best life with Digi.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a
boss. Someone come, yes, someone coming. Let's go. Sa.
But who no?
Fastest question of the day. What you the letter?
Who sent me the letter?
That sign right there. You can't read?
Well, make I tell you something. In this here community, everybody dump here, so me just dump my garbage right here.
So if somebody jump off a bridge, you do it too?
No man, no.
You never know that littering is an environmental crime and Department of the Environment can charge you for that?
Why is that a crime?
Because you pollute the same environment you live in, dirtying the same land and water you use. You don't even know that you dumping garbage can make you and your family sick by attracting disease-carrying pests, and the Department of the Environment just to try help we take care of the we environment.
So all of that? Well, now that you put it that way.
Thanks for your 5 cents, brother. That's 5 cents question of the day.
This message is brought to you by the Department of the Environment.
Everyone needs a getaway. Why not make it in your own backyard? Learn the history of your old capital. Or venture out on a road trip to experience the village life and be captivated by nature's wildlife, culture, and food. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
Everybody wants a clean and healthy family. That's why they purchase the best food products and the cleansing materials. This time, we give you a bigger size of La Costeña products like the mouth-watering fried beans and the pasta sauce. And surely for your clean laundry, we have the breathtaking aroma of Ensueño Max Suavitel. Even your visitors will ask what you clean your floors and restrooms with. And you can boast it is the variety of Pinol products and Sultan Muriatic acid now in 900 milliliters. and much more for the best prices only at German Vega and Sons Imports. We serve you at number 5 San Antonio Road, Orange Walk Town. You can even call us at 322-3625 or 322-2672. Or you can even send us a fax at 322-2571 or email us at germanvega@btl.net. German Vega and Sons Limited, because we care for you.
On Wednesday, May 8th, Belizeans soundly decided to take the unfounded Guatemalan claim to the International Court of Justice, the ICJ. According to the special agreement, this is what happens next. 1. By June 8, 2019, the government of Belize will submit the 2008 special agreement to the ICJ. Guatemala has already done so since their referendum was held in 2018. This will give the ICJ official authority to hear the dispute and to deliver a final binding result. The ICJ will then prepare a notice of when the trial will commence. 2. Next, Guatemala will have up to 1 year, that's 12 months, to submit their case to the ICJ. 3. Belize will then have up to 1 year, that's 12 months, to respond to Guatemala's submission. 4. From there, Guatemala will be given up to 6 months to reply to our arguments, and 5. Belize will then have up to 6 months thereafter to reply to Guatemala's response. 6. After the period of written arguments ends, the ICJ may allow additional pleadings, including oral arguments, and would set deadlines for those. 7. Once the timeline for arguments has ended, the ICJ will deliberate and make a ruling in accordance with the instructions and authorities granted to them by Belize and Guatemala, as per the 2008 special agreement. 8. After the ICJ's ruling is delivered, Belize and Guatemala will have 3 months to establish a joint commission to physically demarcate the boundaries between the two countries in accordance with the ICJ's ruling. The entire process will take no less than 4 years and can be as many as 6 years. This ICJ process will bring a final end to this long-standing Belize-Guatemala dispute. Belize and Guatemala will be able to put old divisions and antagonisms behind us and ensure that peace, development, and cooperation prevail.
Motor 5.0, 4 válvulas por cilindro. Todos quisiéramos una. Como que no agarra, ¿no? Siento como que se le pega el balancín. Vamos a darte el aceite que te mereces. Vas a correr como rayo, preciosa.
Los que oímos más allá de las revoluciones, hablamos máquina. Rostrands, poniendo el mundo a funcionar.
Agente autorizado German Vega y Sons. Teléfono 322-3625. Rostrands.
The Philip Goldson Highway between Belize City and the Philip Goldson International Airport is getting a major facelift to the tune of $31.5 million. Section B of the highway upgrading project between Haulover Bridge and the Buttonwood Bay Boulevard roundabout is underway at an investment of $21 million. Works consist of the full rehabilitation of the road to paved standard, which includes the widening of the road to 4 lanes, lined sidewalks and drains, wide shoulders, median, and parking, plus a bus lane at designated sections of the road. LED road lighting will be installed along with road safety features such as signs, reflectors, and road markings. The project will also facilitate in the improvement of underground infrastructure for the public utility companies. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Bienvenidos de vuelta al Sugar City Morning Show. Son exactamente las 7:27 en este último día de julio. Ojalá y su mañana esté desarrollándose de forma agradable. Pero únanse conmigo a este momento a darle la bienvenida a el ministro Elodio Aragón. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good, man, good. You know,
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that.
Everything's good, you know. Just keep on being busy in the east, you know.
I see you do thing the Carmelita and
we always work, Emmanuel, you know. And I think that is the thing we have to do as representatives, to keep on with the work. And I think that you know, coming to the morning show, you know, it's always a great pleasure. And I just want to say good morning to all our radio and TV listeners. Of course, I want to big up all those who are tuning in right now, no matter where you are, whether you're in your vehicle listening to us or at home. You know, we want to say good morning, and it's a pleasure being here, Emmanuel.
Thank you, same here. I'd just like to quickly, with your permission, send out an announcement that Chaki's stepfather passed away, and that would be Lindbergh Wade Sr. His funeral is this Saturday at Biscayne Village, and the wake is going to be on Friday night. Again, our condolences to the entire family, sincere condolences to the entire family. And it's going to be, the wake is going to be Friday night, and the funeral is going to be on Saturday at 1 p.m. I'd like to also, before we go in, because we have a lot to talk about, I'd like to also say that the installation ceremonies for the San Esteban Village Council will be held today at 10 o'clock in the morning. I was very glad to be a part of that election there about a couple of weeks ago, and to bring a win for the San Esteban Village Council. And la ceremonia de instalaciones se lleva a cabo hoy por la mañana a las 10 de la mañana, y quiero decirles de que la promesa de las luces ya se cumplió. Ya las lámparas están en lugar en San Esteban, así me gusta. Y bueno, pienso ir a vivir en San Esteban un tiempo de muy poco, así que esto para mí es muy importante. Y pues ahí nos vemos para la instalación del nuevo Village Council, que es el Action Team para San Esteban, que ganó las elecciones hace como un par de semanas. Muchas gracias por eso, señor Elodio. Luego de, after we had the
Well, Emmanuel, before we get into the morning activities, I would just like to take a little time out right now to give our condolences, you know, to three families. I know the families well, you know, and it's always tough when we lose someone. And I just like to send out condolences, you know, to Miss Marcel and her family, Miss Sutherland's on Liberty Avenue. You know, her husband passed away yesterday.
Yes, I know.
Mr. Ronald Sutherland, and you know, they had wake last night, and today they'll have the funeral, no? And I just want to publicly send out our condolences out there to she and her family, no? And also we had Miss Lalita Kal, who passed away, you know, so again, give those condolences to her family and sympathies, no? And of course we had Adir Awe, who passed away, you know, and to her tragic way, and you know, so our condolences and sympathies to his family. You know, they are well-known people in our communities, you know, and I just want to take this time to tell them that we really feel the loss, and you know, there are people we know.
And Minister, it's noteworthy that in that family, this is the third son whose mother is buried. And that's not an easy job.
It's tough, you know, and I think for everybody who loses some relative, you know, it's tough. I'm telling you, because you know, we have been there, and I know the hardship and the loss that remains. So, you know, just condolences and sympathies to all the families.
Well, after the village council elections. And we have had some confusing information coming out on Facebook, but the United Democratic Party has issued a press release.
Right.
Saying, hey, let me clarify this thing a bit. Out of all the, let me just quickly read it, because I think that it's important. And it says, there were 100, and in their usual, let me put it in context. The United Democratic Party is extremely pleased with the results of the Village Council elections 2019, which are now concluded. After 6 weeks of Village Council elections, the United Democratic Party has captured an impressive majority of 629 Village Council seats, including 86 chairmanships. We congratulate all newly elected village leaders and encourage them to work closely with central government so that together we can continue to build Belize and improve lives. In the usual haste to claim more false victories that include seats won by independent candidates, the opposition reported incorrect statistics. Elections were conducted in 189 villages for a total of 1,323 seats being contested. The final tally shows that the United Democratic Party won the majority of 629 seats as compared to 625 seats, a difference of 4. The desperate tactics and massive spending by the opposition to try and overturn the dismal losing streak since 2003 was in vain. The message derived from the results of the council elections 2019 is that the United Democratic Party remains stronger than ever and continues to enjoy the support of the rural population. The UDP expresses sincere gratitude to all voters who participated in the elections. So the United Democratic Party is claiming victory, even if that's only 4 seats. It didn't go too well for you.
No. We had 5 villages. Of one, we had only Tower Hill that we could say went UDP. The rest of the villages we lost. And when I looked at the only village that really touched me, I'll leave it, was that of Carmelita. We should have won there.
What happened to Carmelita?
Well, Carmelita, a number of factors happened. And, I've always spoke about these things publicly. And I have no problem in speaking about it. In Carmelita, well, definitely that was our first election. Whenever I know that PUP may come out like it was a general election, because it's just a village election. They brought down all their machinery from Belize City all over, and of course they brought down their money, a lot of money, and we would have defeated them and all their money.
May I add on, sir, because I was there.
Yeah.
May I add on, people who were there voting, they were not all from Canada.
Yeah. We kind of slipped up in terms, and we can't blame anybody. And I'm not here to say, well, we could have done this better, in terms of finding excuses. But it is things that we have to learn from in terms of politics, and we picked up after that. But after that, Carmelita is the only, what I would want to say, was the only village we truly had in terms of having a strong UDP slate.
You have been doing a lot for Carmelita.
Yes, of course. And so,
how big of all those lands at the back, the lighting?
Well, we did a lot of work there, but before we get into that, because, I think right now it's important to highlight some of these things that you have brought up, and then we could get into what we are doing right now in the East, which will touch some of those works. But definitely in Carmelita, politically, we had one candidate that came in. Of course, we lost the chairman, and we had three other candidates of ours who, lost by less than 20 votes, or else they would have come in too. And that basically signifies that, one, we could have done a better job in terms of the scrutineering. We had a lot of people that came from elsewhere that voted, and like I said, we can't blame nobody for these things. We should have had better scrutineers out there, which we didn't. Again, of course, they overwhelmed the area in terms of bringing people from elsewhere. And of course, they brought a lot of money paying people out there. So, but all is fair in politics. We can't cry over that, because
but it hurt
politics. Yes, of course, because we should have won that area, and that would have been the greatest defeat in terms of having the PUP having brought everything out for an election, and we would have been able to overcome that. Would have been great, but we didn't. And I guess in time, everything will work out in terms of how we move in Carmelita. The people, majority of the people, basically, it was obvious that they did not want the chairman. The chairman lost by 82 votes, 82, 84 votes, I think. I'm not too sure which one of them.
I think he lost by the biggest majority.
Yeah, he lost by the biggest majority, and the rest came in very close, lost by very, very small margins. And definitely, I am confident that if we had better scrutineers, etc., we would have been able to win that division. But win that village. But anyway, like I said, that is under the bridge now in terms that the village council elections is over. I personally know where I stand in that village, because the next election that we will have will be the general election.
So may I interrupt and ask you a question? Is there some solace or some comfort in thinking that perhaps the people from Carmelita are still with you?
No, definitely, I'm sure of that.
And that they were only sending you a message through the village council?
Well, you have to understand the village council elections.
I'm trying to understand it.
For the village council elections, people are voting for, they have 14 candidates running, 2 chairpersons, and you have 12 other candidates. So people are voting for them, you understand? And so it all goes down to who they seem comfortable with or who they feel will do a better job in terms of the local politics there. So it's about electing a village council, you know. And definitely that has always played a role, I think, in every village council that you have out there. And that goes for PUP and UDP, right? So basically that was the situation in Carmelita. And, you know, everybody who knows the history, Carmelita 3 years ago was PUP, a full state PUP. We were able to take it away from them and put in a UDP state.
But it's noteworthy that you won the Carmelitas of elections by almost, at that time,
100 and odd votes.
By almost 100 and odd votes. And then it has just reversed.
Well, you know, I think people vote for a lot for candidates, I think. At the end of the day, I think the people in Orange Walk East, and I think they look towards who is the person representing them in terms of
so it's a very personal decision.
I do think so, because definitely when you look at other areas in terms of, it all comes down to the candidate at the end of the day. That's the way I feel, you know, in town boards and all these things. This has to do a lot with the candidates that are running. And of course, it has to do likewise with the machinery in place, you know, in terms of scrutineers and all of these things. That plays a role at the end of the day. But like I said, you know, definitely there's always room for improvement.
If you had a chance to do it again in Carmelita, what would you do different?
We would do a lot different.
What would you do different?
Well, I don't need to say what I would do, but definitely there's a lot of things in terms of room for improvement in terms of our machinery, our scrutineering, how we go about the campaign, and also on the day of election, what we need to do out there, you know. You know, I think the PUP in Orange Walk, under the leadership of Johnny, had to come out big.
So why I asked the question very simply because I think that there was an element of surprise.
Yes, of course. Well, that too, because
we were, I think, riding a note of confidence in Carmelita that was not secure.
Right, and you know, those are some of the shortfalls we had. But definitely, I think that we have to understand right now that the village councils are no longer just a village council kind of election that we're going to have. It's going to be, from here on, it has to be run just like any general election, you know. And I guess that is more showing the how political villages are getting now, you know. So these are the things we have to look at, but definitely there's always room for improvement, and you learn from these things, and it's the important thing is being able to move on and to deal with the shortfalls, you know.
Yes. I'm getting a message here, and I don't know if... morning, Mr. Aragon will win. North, Central, and South is blue. I don't understand well, I understand it somewhat, but sometimes only extra word with a drop good in there, just to give the padding so we understand exactly what is the context. But thank you very much.
So these are the things, and I think that a lot of it has to do with the candidates, without a doubt, you know. In Santa Marta, well, you know, Santa Marta traditionally has always been PUP. I don't think the only time we were able to have a UDP cheerleader was last 3 years. After maybe 30 years of PUP, we were able to have a cheerleader who basically won on the flip of a coin because she drew and she had to flip the coin, and that is the way we had a cheerleader.
But it was because it was a tie.
Yeah, it was a tie.
But in this case, we
lost. We lost again by 8. I think it's about like 80 votes she lost by. And of course, well, the councillors didn't come in. Last time we had one councillor came in by a couple votes too. But when I mean couple, I'm serious about couple votes. And you must understand, I think some of these villages don't, trying to change PUP is not an easy task. Even with all the work that you could do, sometimes it's not easy, and it's human nature, I guess. But such is life, we have to understand these things, and I think these things come with the feel in terms of understanding the politics in things. Definitely, even when I ran there for general election, I lost there by 60 votes in Santa Marta. Palmar, of course, has been traditionally a PUP for the last maybe 30 years, just like Santa Marta. The last time we had a council was just last 3 years, and we were able to slip in a council, and I think to a large extent it was because we had basically two more states running, the PUP and another fraction of the PUP, I would want to say, or maybe independent. I don't know how you call them nowadays. But that run, and we were able to slip in by a couple votes, the team. Of course, now it reverted back to how would I put it, to the PUP. Of course, well, with the chairman there, we lost by a good amount of votes. Obviously, they did not.
But the elections in general here in the Orange Walk district don't bode well for a United Democratic Party.
And then,
the South, we lost every single village council. In the North, I think we only won 2, whilst we had at one time, I think, 8 that we had on our side. And this case, out of the 9 villages, we only won 2, which is dismal. And fortunately, we won in the east with San Esteban, which is the only village there.
No, in the central, you mean?
In central, I'm sorry. And that was won by a margin of about 50 votes. 50 votes. So, but I see us doing extremely well in other districts.
Well, like I said, it's all about everybody has their own political area, and I believe every constituency is different.
But what I'm getting at is it an indication of the fight it will be for the next general election?
Well, you must understand, I mean, I've always told people that going for a 4th term is not easy. But definitely from the results of the village council across the country, the UDP enjoys still a popular support. And I do feel that in terms of going to the general election sometime next year, I do believe this will be an election to watch. And I do think at the end of the day, the people of this country will have to make a decision, and I do feel that it will be in favor of the United Democratic Party. And I say that because of everything that I'm seeing out there. The PUP at this point in time will do everything to try to showcase themselves as being able to be the party that can bring about change, but the reality, and this is quite frankly, the PUP can never bring about the positive change for this country at this point in time, because they are the same wolves that nearly brought this country to its knees. They haven't changed, and I have always been real in discussions. If the PUP would have been able to garner new, vibrant candidates, that would have been good. But it is the same pack of wolves that are there, and I do not see that the general public, despite
so that doesn't present, in other words, that doesn't present much of an option
of course,
for the citizenry, because at the end of the day, they have become, a lot of them have become totally disgruntled with the United Democratic Party and will hang on to whatever little thread there is to get vengeance on the UDP.
Yeah, but this is politics, and like I've always told people too, the PUP is not an option. And we must understand that with the United Democratic Party, we have been steadily moving forward this country. This country has seen immense infrastructural change. It continues to happen. Anybody who has traveled the breadth and length of this country can tell you of the great work of the United Democratic Party. And I believe at the end of the day, the people will see through the lies and the miscontortions of the PUP and will vote for the United Democratic Party. And that is why I'm confident that in the East we will defeat the PUP there. You know, the PUP opposition will do everything, of course, in Orange Walk, because at the end of the day, this is the home of the opposition leader. But we in the East continue to stay the course, and I am confident that at the end of the day, when general elections is called, whenever that is called next year, we will be ready and prepared to ensure that we deliver the seat for the United Democratic Party. And this is politics, you know. We must understand politics, and we can't sit back and don't understand the dynamics in politics, and we have to be real. Mm-hmm. We have to be real, you know. We had Champion Ridge, and we lost in Champion Ridge too. And Champion Ridge, well, we didn't win it last 3 years either. We lost that village. So what I'm trying to say is that politics, we must understand it. And of course, the villages make up, I would say, a fraction of the entire votes we have. Orange Walk, Town East Side has always been the determining factor in any election for the Orange Walk East Division. Mm-hmm. So those are the things we have to look towards. So. And definitely, like I said, it's all about being prepared, you know. It's all about being prepared for the big dance. And
yeah, we need to take a break, but when we come back, I'd like to just quickly ask you, given the fact that the village councils have not done well, what changes will you see? What do you perceive in the East Division? In other words, will you be putting more attention to the East Louisiana area?
Of course, we always do
we'll do that when we come back. Can
sure.
we do that? Let's take a break, and we'll be right back with you after these messages.
You have an 8-cylinder powerful engine disguised as an aluminum alloy that spins at 8,000 revolutions per minute.
Goes like this. You think it's a turbo?
No, with a cleaning of injectors and a change of oil, you will run more efficient, my friend.
For those who understand the engine like it talks to you, we speak machine. Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Residents of Dangriga now have their very own brand new modernized multi-purpose complex, compliments of the government of Belize. This $3.5 million investment in the cultural capital will host sporting events, cultural events, and shows, and can double as a hurricane shelter. Features include seating for 1,000, a fully FIBA certified wooden court, locker rooms with full bathrooms, a stage and changing rooms backstage, concession stands, office space, and ample parking. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
The San Ignacio-Santa Elena Bypass project is now complete. The transformation began in 2012, and now residents of the Twin Towns and visitors alike are enjoying the end result. Works include the full pavement of Lamalus Boulevard, along with 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage, LED lighting, and a roundabout at the entrance of Santa Elena. The Twin Towns now boast the longest and widest bridge in Belize, immune to flooding from the occasional rise in water levels of the McCall River. A bypass road was also built linking the new bridge to Joseph Andrews Drive, which was rehabilitated, as well as 1 mile of pavement, a median, and 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage. This was all done to the tune of $34.8 million. But that's not all. The project was extended due to savings from the successful execution and implementation of the initial scope of works. Now over 2 miles of additional road works will commence, including George Price Avenue, Liberty Avenue, and the George Price Highway between Three Flags and Hawksworth Bridge. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
To go across the border to enjoy sun, sand, and crystal blue waters, Belize's northern islands and reef are just a boat ride away. Go slow and immerse yourself into the Caribbean Sea, or enjoy some fresh coconut water. Or pick up the pace on an island where locals can enjoy sandy beaches by day and feast on your fresh catch by night. Discover Discover the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef and submerge yourself into another world where you can experience a traffic jam you will want to return. You can also make new friends along the way. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
Notice the residents of rural communities in Orange Walk and Corozal districts. If you value your health and your children's health, you will dispose of your garbage only at approved sites. The disposal of garbage at any other location is illegal, and if caught, you can be fined up to $5,000. If you don't get caught, you can still suffer health impacts caused by these illegal sites, because illegal dump sites harbor pests such as rodents, possums, and mosquitoes that carry diseases. These can transmit those diseases to you and your children. In addition, the garbage you throw away illegally can contaminate water bodies near your community, the same water bodies you might use for recreation or other purposes. Only with your help can the Department of Environment ensure that Belize's development is safe for present and future generations. You can also contact your local village councils or Belize Solid Waste Management Authority for more information. The Department of Environment thanks you for your help.
These sunny days are here, and whether it's for a picnic or in your kitchen, you need the meat. Gillette's Meat Shop proudly offers a variety of juicy cuts such as processed meats, ham, bacon, salami, longaniza, and sugar cure ham, just to mention a few. Enjoy our meats in beef, pork, and mutton. So for that healthy cut your family enjoys, visit us at number 18 San Antonio Road in Orange Walk from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 12:30 and 3 to 5 p.m. Sundays, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Place your orders at 322-3486 or 322-2175 or even 610-4061. Send us an email at derekgillett31@gmail.com. Gillette's Meat Shop, fresh and processed meats.
Ay, qué rico.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's exactly 5 minutes before 8 o'clock, las 8 menos 5 minutos, aquí con el ministro Elodio Aragón, y estamos hablando, yo creo que es la primera vez, it's the first time since, if I'm not mistaken, since we've had the elections and we've had to do some sort of post-mortem study. I don't think that this is let's take it as such, but this is the first time we're making reference, let's call it, reference of the village council elections. But Minister, I asked you a question just before we went on the break. And given the dismal performance of the UDP in your division, what changes do we expect to see?
Well, of course, there's a lot of things that we have to look at. Well, like I said, I'm not going to go over and give you all the plans that we're going to do, but definitely we have to do some changes in the villages. In the villages, of course, you have the PUP slate that is there now. I don't know how effective they will be there, because once you have a PUP slate, they never want to be involved with the UDP. So I don't see anything coming much out of that. But definitely, our work and our mission in terms of the work that we always do for our communities will continue. That in no way can stop, and that will definitely continue. And we just have to a large extent, reorganize in terms of looking at what works and what does not work and move on from there. because at the end of the day, the general elections is next year. We must prepare for that.
How many months do we have for the election?
Well, the election is still next year, November, but it could be called
so
anytime,
we have August, September, October, November. We have about 15, 16 months.
Yes.
But those are going to go quickly, rather
Yes,
quickly.
of course. Yes, time waits on no one.
Wow. Wow.
So the end state in this is all about being prepared for the next election, and I do think that at the next election, definitely we'll be ready and we'll be prepared for that. So,
well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yes,
I'm very glad
course,
to hear that. For me, to be honest, I was sincerely disappointed in Carmelita. Carmelita is very close to me. I have a lot of friends there. The chairman himself was, and I had to come to an about-face decision as to about his performance there. But that's something else. But I saw that, and I agree with you that the elections was rather close in Carmelita.
yeah. No, it was close.
If it
without a
was
doubt.
like for a difference of 5 or 10 people voting differently, it would have been a majority of red over
Yeah. And like I said, there's a lot of factors there which I think we would have to be here all day to discuss some of these things.
But
And
you've
some of
been-
these things need not be discussed either because of the political in terms of the work that has to be done.
But you've been doing a lot of
Yeah.
work recently.
Of course.
And I'm going to
course.
give you an opportunity to talk about those things.
Yeah, well, the work continues. I've always, and how would I put it to you? In the villages, there's a lot of work that has been done, and most of these work has been done because it is important to be, it is necessary to be done because in our rural communities, the demand in terms of what is necessary is of vital importance to the quality of life of our communities out there. When I decided to get into politics and to run for office, I did it with the intention because I wanted to improve and to develop and to help our communities in the East, and being that we have 5 rural villages, we must understand that these villages to a large extent were abandoned, you have, for instance, Santa Marta. Santa Marta, despite them being a PUP village, and people might ask, but why then continue to be PUP? Well, that is the nature of politics, you wonder why people don't change, etc. And in reality, to a large extent, I think it has to do a lot with, we're dealing with individuals, and I think that is a part of political science, a part of human nature that must be studied. But definitely you look at villages, and when I got into office and we looked at all the villages such as Santa Marta, Palmar, Carmelita, Tower Hill, Champion Ridge, you saw a great need for work to be done because for the last 30 years, I would nearly want to say, little to no development had ever happened in these villages. And you don't have to ask me that question. You could speak to the villagers who live in those areas. Santa Marta, for instance, when I went in there about 3 to 4 years ago, there was not everybody had access to water. Right now, every single family in that village have access to water because of the work that we have done to be able to find the monies to get the pipes and for us to be able to get those pipes connected and sent to people's homes. So every single villager in Santa Marta right now has water. And you look at electricity.
Well, it's all within your...
Yes, of course. The work we have done there, I don't think anybody could say they have done as much work as we have done in those villages, in all the villages in the East, what was not done in 30 years. And I talk straight, and this is the truth. You could ask any villagers out there. They are far better off under us than they have ever been in the last 25 to 30 years. And why this is important to me is because this is my commitment to the people of Orange Walk East. I always believe that we must help those who are far more in need, and the villages have always been left behind. And to be able to bring about a necessity such as water to somebody's home, I mean, that is a major change in their lifestyle, in the way they will live, in the quality of life that they will have. It is a basic necessity. It's all about being basic in terms of what we talk about human rights and all of these things. And when you look at electricity, again, very important things that are needed in the village. And Santa Marta has gotten tremendous help, starting from our community centers. That when I got there was no community centers. They have one now. You know, we have been able to look at most of their feeder roads. Of course, we have other roads that need to be done. The tremendous work that has been done in those areas in terms of looking at the expansion of light. Like I said, the people literally living without electricity and water in Carmelita for years. Right now, to a large extent, I will tell you that most people now will become connected to having the basic necessities such as water and light. We did 2 expansions of light in that village of recently, and of course we also lighted up the football field there with new lights for the first time ever. And they have never seen light on their football field, and we put very good lights up for Santa Marta. And these are works that just transpired, you know, and I think you can look at the footage of the truck working there, putting lights at the football field in Santa Marta. I think this is a footage from Santa Marta, if I'm not mistaken. So we have 2 expansions of light that took place in Santa Marta, and this will no doubt brought about access to electricity, and 2 much needed street lights in that village. And there's a lot of work else that we did in that village of Santa Marta. We also gave out a lot of lots to people who have never been given out lots. And when I mean given out lots, we just did not just give them a parcel. We ensure that they have gotten their purchase price, and so that goes a long way to ensuring people are able to get their documents for their property. And so, you know, that there's a tremendous work that we have done in that village. And of course, the amount of work that we have done in that village, likewise in terms of, you know, the lands and the lights and the water, which are basic, the road works that we have done, the culverts we have fixed, that we have done to new land, all these things, you know, tremendous work we did in those villages. And right now, I want to again boast, we were able, 2-3 weeks ago, I was in cabinet, and I had to fight very hard, and we were able to secure a preschool for Santa Marta. So Santa Marta will be getting a spanking new preschool building.
My question is, right? Minister, is a very logical question. What in the world went wrong? I don't
well,
want
definitely,
to mean to be demeaning.
There's a number of factors there,
of the
you know.
Santa Marta population, but after you've been given so much and so much, there's something called gratitude.
Well, you know, they always say,
Minister.
Yeah, well, you know, but like I said, you know, we're dealing with human nature, and we have to consider a lot of factors. And in politics, it's not always a clear vision that you get. You understand me? A lot of things include the candidates that are running, you know, and it all comes down. You're talking about a village. So if me not like you and you the run, me not vote for you. You know, these kind of factors, or I didn't like this and that, and so there's a number of issues out there, and I think, like I said, we'll be here all day speaking about these things. But definitely it is things that we have to learn from, and then we have to adapt and change and prepare. And right now, we don't have another village council election coming up until the next 3 years. The big election will be for all the marbles, and that will be for the general election. And we'll be prepared for that. But definitely, what I can tell you is that we have done tremendous work in these villages. And you know, then you ask about that, you have to understand, even Jesus came to this earth, and you know the story with Jesus. But at the end of the day,
the POP won't Carmelita. This is a message. It says, Minister, today I pledge my full support to you whenever General is called killer. I don't understand that, what you call it there. Can Mr. Aragon, just let me quickly, can Mr. Aragon help us with the noise of the block factory in the Cinderella area? This is an issue of central division, but I would imagine. Noise of the block factory in the Cinderella area. I don't know. I would believe that would be an issue for the area represented in the central division, if it's Cinderella.
Yeah, so anyway, to get back to where we were, definitely there are a lot of things that we have done, a lot of work. And I've done it not because I am concerned about the popularity and these things. It's about what is necessary to be done for the villagers. And like I've always said, it is about the role you play. It's not about the position. It is about the role you play in your life. And to me, that is the most important thing. And that is why when I go to these villages, people say, well, Mr. Aragon and a PUP left and right there. I don't look at it that way, because for me, it is a commitment that I've made to the East, and it is about us doing the work for the East, the genuine work that is required to move the East forward and to improve the quality of lives of our Belizeans and of this country on a whole. That is the ultimate game, and the ultimate end state that I would like to see, is that we have an improvement in the quality of life of our Belizeans and a better Belize.
But sir, as commendable as that may be, politics is about winning elections.
Yes, of course it is. Of course it is. And let me tell you and be frank with you, politics is not an easy business. Some people look at it as business. That means they will invest because they will take out of it at the end of the day. I don't operate that way. For me, it is about us getting the work done. At the end of the day, it is up to the persons or the individual who will go and vote for election day that will have to make that important decision, who they want as their leaders, who they want as their government. And I've always believed that at the end of the day, majority of people will make the wise decision. And that is yet to be seen on our next general election that will come up next year. But definitely, I am focused on getting the work done for our communities. I think that is the most important commitment you can make to your people. And then you don't see Aragon out there. I'm not out there issuing licenses, giving free licenses. I'm not out there trying to buy out votes and all of these things, in terms of trying to be there. Because I don't sincerely believe in those things, and I've always believed that we must do the right thing always. And it's not easy, Politics is tough, and we know that this is the game we are in now, and sometimes it's really tough to understand that this is what might have to be necessary in terms of doing certain things. But, it has always been a challenge, and I've always believed that you have to remain true to yourself, first and foremost, if you are going to serve the greater good of your community. And definitely, I stand for those things. And that is why we continue to work. We have not stopped in terms of work. And for anybody who might say, well, Aragon, I punish this and punish that, I don't believe in those things. I am bigger than those things. I look at what is necessary for our communities. Like I tell you, we're not going out there and give water to everybody because it's only because of politics. It is because I believe it is necessary for our people. We give out an expansion of light because that is necessary, that is needed. Giving out the lands, building the community center, fixing the roads.
Let me get this call. SugarCity Morning Show, good morning. Buenos dias.
Morning, Emmanuel.
Hi, good morning.
Morning, Minister.
Yeah, good morning. Morning.
I just wanted to perhaps ask a little question and perhaps make a comment. Where I find it surprising that your area, we had some unpredictable losses despite good work that you put in the division. I know you worked, and I know the villages experience a lot of move forward. It is surprising that in the village council elections, things that did not go your way. But that is your division, so it's a surprise there. But with respect to Orange Walk North and the South, Orange Walk South, it was no surprise. It was being preempted before that the divisions the candidates were not cutting it. We lost Alphon, we lost a lot of, in fact, almost all the villages. For Orange Walk South, there was talk that somebody who's running there was not meeting the approval of the people. Hence, it was predictable that that division would have lost all the village councils. Same thing in the north, it was predictable. And I'm wondering, as one of the leaders for Orange Walk, what is the plan for these two divisions? Because predictably, from my standpoint and from the standpoint of the people in the divisions, there will be a loss for the general. Is there any remedial plan that the party has in place to fix all this? I just wanted to know. I'm curious because as a UDP, I'm concerned.
Yeah. No, definitely. I hear you, and I am sure the party is listening likewise, and I know the party is having a national party council meeting very soon, within a week or two, next 2 weeks, I think. And there they will definitely discuss some of these issues that you have brought up, right? But it is something that needs to be discussed, and of course, I guess that is not a discussion for here, but definitely one that is necessary for the party, and I just want to assure you that those discussions are being held.
Okay, well, let's take a break at this moment. It's 30 minutes after 8 o'clock, and when we're back, we'll continue with Mr. Aragon and the third segment. Let's take that break.
The first two phases of the Hummingbird Highway Rehabilitation Project from the Belmopon Roundabout Junction to Saboon Bridge and Alta Vista Bridge to Dangriga Town has already made a remarkable difference for commuters and residents alike. These first two phases are a $16.5 million investment by the government of Belize. Under this project, the highway is being rehabilitated through improvement of the road pavement to create a safer environment for the public. Improvements, especially in the areas that pose a high risk to motorists, include the introduction of paved road shoulders, high visibility line markings, reflective road studs, bus laybys, and other features that will bring the entire road segment in line with internationally recognized standards. Additionally, the replacement of the existing single-lane bridges will reduce road user risks. These improvements will increase economic, tourism, and agricultural opportunities, further encouraging the social development of Belize, particularly in the south. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Need an escape from your daily schedule? Why not become a tourist in your own country? Discover Western Belize. Transport back in time and be awed by the reminiscences of the Mayan civilization. Be adventurous or spend a day with family and friends enjoying the serenity of the Macau River. Sample a kaya staple or pick up some fresh produce to make your own delicacy. Come visit us in Western Belize. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
Take a journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. DigiNet Boost is countrywide. Taking Belize into the future. A nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, DigiNet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. Belize is powered by DigiNet. DigiNet Boost, now available countrywide.
Six cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, Rush Franz, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Every friendly competition has a winner and a loser, a runner-up, a second best, someone that just doesn't have what it takes. Our friends know this feeling all too well. Since Digi introduced their new prepaid data plans, Digi fans have been happier than ever. While the other guys, their plans just can't even compare. Digi's new plans have the best value for your dollar. That's more data for less money, with even more options. So keep being a winner and keep living your best life with Digi.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a
Someone come, yes, someone coming. Let's go. Sa. Fastest question of the day. Why you the letter?
Who's a me the letter?
That sign right there. You can't read?
Well, make I tell you something. In this here community, everybody dump here, so me just dump my garbage right here.
So if somebody jump off a bridge, you do it too?
Oh man, no.
You never know that littering is an environmental crime and Department of the Environment can charge you for that?
Why is that a crime?
Because you pollute the same environment you live in, dirtying the same land and water you use. You don't even know that you dumping garbage can make you and your family sick by attracting disease-carrying pests, and the Department of the Environment just to try help we take care of the environment.
So all of that? Well, know that to put it that way.
Thanks for your 5 cents, brother. That's all. 5 cents question of the day.
This message is brought to you by the Department of the Environment.
Everyone needs a getaway. Why not make it in your own backyard? Learn the history of your old capital. Or venture out on a road trip to experience the village life and be captivated by nature's wildlife, culture, and food. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's 19 minutes after 8 o'clock, and again with Minister Elodio Aragon in his first appearance after about a month or so. Minister, welcome back again. But you, despite the fact that you've had some losses in some villages, and you're doing a lot of work in those villages.
Oh yes, man, we always work. And like I said, to me, the important thing is about improving the quality of life for people, and in the rural communities, I mean, tremendous work is needed, and still tremendous work continues to be needed. It's not like the work will end, there's a lot more, when we look at Carmelita, well, the amount of work we have done in Carmelita is tremendous in terms of lands that we have done, and we are still in the process. We haven't concluded with that. We are still to get the purchase price from government to issue. We have gotten some, not all, and we're working to get every single one back so we could give it to the people. Definitely, right now what is happening in Carmelita, expansion of light is continuing. That has been something that we've been fighting for quite some time, and we are getting them now. They are coming on. You had a little area in Carmelita that is called Little Belize, where the people from Belize settled down there. And they had a
Little Belize?
Yeah, they call it Little Belize.
So they got Spanish Town, they got Little Belize now.
Yeah, and so they had a street there which really, really dark, and it was, how would I put it? It was something always challenging for the community, because to get to the center of the village, you had to walk through a long stretch with no light, and it was pitch dark in that area. But we managed to put lights in that area. As promised, it took some time, and of course, the politicians, they like to say, well, because elections. It's not because election. This is a continuous work that we've always been done. You can't just go get light today and put light tomorrow. It doesn't work that way. It's a process that we have to do, and it's all about being able to lobby and get these things to come to the village. So we've been able to light up that area, and of course the expansion of light continues in the different areas of Carmelita village. We have a number of footage I think they could play. They could put it there to show the lights that are being done in
the lights in Carmelita.
But so we have that going on as we speak. You know, this week and last week we've been running lights, and if anybody who traverse the village will notice that there are lights in some areas that are going up, and there are expansion of electricity. You know, because that village has been one of the fastest growing villages in the east, and definitely has required expansion of light. And that is ongoing at this present time. There's a lot of things that will happen in Carmelita. For instance, the police station, we would like to see that station commence within the next month and a half, the work to build that building. And
but have you identified a new...
Well, yeah, we have identified another piece of land now. The one, you know, unfortunately, the one that was identified, which to me is so important.
So I think it would be only right for you to explain to the people why that problem went.
Yeah, well, you know, we already had the land, and everybody in Carmelita should know this, and it's only those who want to play blind or deaf will not understand. But the land that was there, you know, and this is this is the question you asked. How would people vote? You had Mr. Kat that was there as a chairman. It is his family who took this land from the community. Yet he ran and he still won. You understand me? So, you know, politics is what it is. But the land that was beside the community center, that is in private hands right now. I don't know. We want to try to get that back, because I think at the end of the day it is important for the community, for the future of Carmelita. But despite that, that has been the thing that has kept back the building of the commencement of the building of the new police station. But we have already identified a new piece of land on the highway, and so we are going to begin the process of getting that land prepared for the commencement of the building. So that will happen, no doubt. That is already there. Funding is already there, and we will get that going. So, you know, I feel good about it. At least every year, good and major projects are taking place. You know, like Santa Marta will get their new preschool, you know, and that is in no part something that is minor. It is a big event. You know, they'll have their own preschool. I remember about 2 years ago we had the preschool. They didn't have no building for the preschool, and the preschool was being moved from Carmelita. It was being sent to the north of the village of the town, which was going to one of the villages, I think, if I'm not mistaken, San Jose, one of these villages there, and I was able to fight for that preschool building, and that was then sent to Santa Marta, because they needed a preschool, and they still need the preschool right now. Because that board building is only there temporarily.
Haven't you? Let's take this call first. Sugar City Morning Show. Good morning, buenos días.
Good morning, Mr. Martinez.
Hola. ¿Cómo estás?
Okay, I just want to say good morning to all the Orangeanians and the people. I want to congratulate the East representative, our Honorable Minister Eloy Aragon, for his continuous work that he has done and given to his people and his constituency and to the country of Belize.
Sure.
The village council election has just been for him to get stronger and closer to his people and to listen to the needs and address the concern of his people. I want to thank him for doing all that wonderful job to the villages. He has done very well and will continue doing well for his people. I just want to big up my minister for his hard work, and also for all his workers and his people that he has that has made him look very well and will continue doing progress to the country of Belize and to the East area. I want to big up my minister.
Right,
Thank you, Minister. Big up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carla. Thank you very much. It's good whenever you get these calls, and this person is saying, "Hey, no care what, this is our minister. We are going to pick him up because he's done a lot for the division."
And apart from that, you know, so these are some of the works we've been doing. And right now, you know, we have to highlight it because sometimes we do so much work that we don't talk about it. And people don't know the tremendous work.
Do you think that we have to change that?
Of course, I always think we have to blow our own horns because
You have to blow your horn, yes.
nobody can blow it for you. But definitely in Carmelita, I'm so glad about the lights that are taking place because this was so much needed in the village, and of course with all the other works that we have done in terms of opening up new roads, etc., keeping Carmelita on top of things in terms of their infrastructure. And there's a lot more coming to Carmelita. Carmelita is slated for one of the larger new high schools, and that will be built. I foresee that taking place next year, or maybe late this year. You'll hear about the bidding and all that process. There's a process for these things, but definitely tremendous work has been done there, and we will continue to do that. Likewise, you have apart from that, like I said, we had the lighting at the football field in Santa Marta. We also had the lighting at the football field in the Tower Hill village. So those are great accomplishments, I think, because they go a long way towards promoting sports for our young people, etc. Apart from that,
let me stick a note here. Lighting of a football field may seem something small, but believe me, lighting of a football field is an expensive venture.
Yeah. It costs money,
Each one of those lights that you see, and invariably you'll have about 8 or 10 in a field, each one of those lights is approximately $500 up to $1,000.
No, man, more than that. Each light is close to $3,000, yes.
$3,000. You say, I talked about maybe 5-10 years ago.
Yeah. I will not put no cheap light, Santa Marta.
Thank you, Minister. That's exactly my point.
Got the best lights that we could have found. These are loan LED lights. That means they're guaranteed for nothing less than 2 years operation, and the cost in terms of what the savings compared to the old lights. So we make the extra effort to put good things up for the people, because at the end of the day, like I said, to me the most important thing is to do things the right way, and so those are the things that we have done, and I feel good about these things because it has impacted our communities tremendously out there. And the work continues. Right now, we are also in the process. Palmar will also be getting new lights and new expansion of electricity. We will begin to open some more roads in the village. I think that village, again, is growing tremendously. And we will continue to work in that village. And there's a lot of other things that we are doing to that in terms of what you see happening in those villages is not happening just as a matter of consequence, etc. It is a matter of the work being done in these villages. And like I've always said, these villages need the work. Politically, people might say, oh, this and that left-hander, etc. But it is things that are necessary if we are going to grow as a community, if we are going to grow as a nation. It is necessary for us to get these things and these works done. So for me, it is very, very important. Apart from that, like I said, these are all ongoing works. We're not talking about something that happened 10 months ago, and these are continuous works taking place. In terms of putting the electricity in Carmelita, this is happening last week, and this week work continues. So these are the great things that we're highlighting right now. And apart from that, of course, we have the summer camp program that is taking place in the Orange Walk East Division right now at Louisiana Football Field. As we speak today, we have close to 200 kids that are out there right now. This is the start of the kids coming out on Monday, and right now by today, by yesterday evening, the report I got was that we have close to 200 kids or more we might have.
And this is only for the Orange Walk East Division?
Yes, only Orange Walk East Division. We have a lot of kids out there. Tell you, at least I expect at least over 200 by today. They told me that this is the cutoff date, but they expect to have at least 200 kids out there. That's a lot of kids, and it goes a long way. This is a program that I've done every year, and they have different programs in terms of that when you go out there, you have the sport element, you have the dance element, you have different things that they do for the kids to keep the kids active for the week and stuff. And I really appreciate this. I will be out there with the parents and the kids on Friday, and we're working to get a school bag for each of the children that are out there. So this is tremendous work that we continue to do, and it is happening as we speak right now at the Louisiana Football Field. So this is work that is ongoing, and I really feel good about that, because it's always good to see that we do something positive for our kids out there. And of course, you have the Mundialito.
Is this year any bigger or smaller than last year?
Bigger, man. Every year it gets bigger. Every year it gets bigger. And right now we have the Mundialito that is going on, and I have always been sponsoring the Mundialito. because I think these things are very important in terms of being able to keep our young people, especially during the summertime, engaged in healthy and positive things. So when you look at the football, etc., and of course we got the Aragon's Christmas Cup that will start very soon, within the next month. And so these are some of the things that we have to stay focused on. But you know,
I'd like to share an email and a message that says, "Good morning to one and all. First, I would like to congratulate Honorable Minister Elodio Aragon, who is a true representative of what a leader should be for all. His tireless work that has been done has not only benefited the people of Orange Walk East, but our entire East community. While others will resort to misjudging and innuendos, he has been a true inspiration for one and all. Keep up the good work, Minister, and so come election, you will see the people of Orange Walk East will do the right thing and vote for you again." Very comforting.
Yeah, well, you know, I've always believed that we must do the work. I always believe that, you know, as a representative, as somebody, as a leader in our community, you know, we have to think about our people first and foremost. And sometimes it's not easy, you know, in the face of politics, you know. For instance, the amount of help that we have given for students going to school, educational assistance, that tremendous help that is continuously being done every year. And I will tell you, the villages get help. I try to share this around with the villages, with the town, stretch everything we got to reach out with assistance to people who are going to school, to young people who are going to school. And I do this because I know the importance of an education. I know the value of an education. I know what it will do for our country and our communities, and how it will improve and impact people personally and otherwise. And that is why I could talk about these things, because I've experienced this firsthand. And I know the impacts of a good education. And that is why I go all out to support people in education. And I will tell you, you know, sometimes it's very challenging. I have people who say, "Mr. Aragon, why you help that person in a PUP?" I said, listen to me. The way I look at things, you know, is I see things in a different light. I don't like to look at things politically just for what is red and what is blue. We must look, if we are truly going to build this nation, if we are truly going to change our communities, we have to start by impacting upon people's lives. And a young person, for me, it's about educating this country. And I've been able to help a lot of people out there. Why? Because if I help somebody, I know they worry about food, PUP and UDP. You know, at times we have to look at that, because people always say, "Oh, you have to help this and that." But at the end of the day, it is about being able to assist somebody to get an education. And that young person, whether they go to high school or primary school or sixth form, that person being able to get his associates or his bachelor's or his high school diploma is impacting him personally, and in turn, he's a member of a community that needs an education.
What is the current situation with the subsidy?
Well, the subsidy is handled through the Ministry of Education. That we have no control over. That is, the Ministry of Education has their process, and they have done. And I will tell you, you look at the villages right now in this entire country. Every single village in Orange Walk East, for instance, and across this country, has gotten $300 subsidy. So everybody who is graduating, or who graduated from their primary school in their villages and going to a high school, automatically, whether you were PUP or UDP, you got your $300. That is the commitment from the government. And apart from that, we helped a lot of them too, because some of the villagers have it tough, you know. And that educational expense is something that is sometimes it's easy for others, but sometimes for certain people it's tough, and we must understand these things. But what is the important thing there is to be able to have these kids go to school. Because if we are going to deal with the crime situation, if we are going to deal and move our country forward, the basic foundation for all of these things is education. And I truly believe in these things, and that is why I go out of my way to assist people when it comes to education. There's no greater fighter in terms of someone fighting for the education of their people than me. That's the way I see it, because I truly go out of my way to try to help people to get their education. And like I said, I look at that as an important factor for our communities. And that is why we do it, and it is, I do feel that we have impacted tremendously a lot of people. to assist them with their education, and that is an ongoing process that we do, and it's a process that we have to go through in terms of getting their assistance, but it does come, and people do get these assistance. So those are the works that we are doing now.
Sugar City Morning Show, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Martinez. Good morning, Mr. Aaron.
Yeah, morning.
And when it comes to those $200 that are given to high school students, I have applied 3 times, and 3 times I have been denied for it. And I'm so provided for my family. And they told me, yes, apply, and you will get it. And I haven't done it for the last
$100 is for the subsidy for education.
Yeah.
But are you studying?
My son is studying.
Oh, your son is studying.
Yes, and I applied 3 times, and the 3 times he was denied. I know he's going to full farm, and again, they told him that he doesn't qualify. So, and Mr. Aaron is saying that once they go to high school, automatically they get it. Why is it that I'm always been denied, my son's always been denied, this is substitute?
Maybe there's something wrong in an application form, I don't know.
No, what is happening, and just to clarify, the subsidy is given for the first farm and second farm. That is given through the Ministry of Education. There's a process for you to qualify. I don't know the full criteria, but it has to do with what is deemed that you need it or you don't need it, right? Right now, for all the rural villages, it is automatic. That means once you graduate from a primary school in your village and you're going to high school, that subsidy is automatically given, which is for the first and second year, you get the $300. The third farm, you don't get any assistance, and fourth farm, your CXCs are being paid for, 6 CXCs are being paid for the government. But I don't know from where you are, Kala, but you could have maybe check with your representative, because
Where are you calling us from, Kala?
Child farm.
Child farm. And then contact your representative. Is that good?
Yeah, because for farm and second farm, my son was still denied the subsidy.
Yeah, well, you know what would be good? Maybe you check with Ministry of Education, because I don't handle the subsidies, and I don't think any representative handles the subsidy. That is something comes from the Ministry of Education, which we have no control of. But of course, there's a financial assistance program that comes towards school, and if you never get the subsidy, then maybe you could look at the financial assistance for school, no?
Okay, caller. I want to thank you for your call. Thank you very much. Let me go to another message. It says, morning to you all in the studio this morning, and a special big up to Minister Aragon. Good morning, Carmelita Village. Carmelita, ready for you. Let me just quickly, these darn telephones. Okay, here it is. Here it is. I think it's Messenger. No, it's Message. For some reason or the other, it's just not coming up. Here it is. It's a WhatsApp message. To one and all, first I would like to congratulate. No, this is the same one that we read a little while ago. I pledge my full support to you, and this is what comes from the Carmelita, saying that Carmelita is going to support the next general elections. That's the general thrust of the message. But I want to actually pick that up, but unfortunately, it's I have 3 ways of getting messages, and I've tried to put them all, and it does not appear. It doesn't appear. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so definitely with their educational assistance, I think it goes a long way for communities, and we really try to share that money in terms of letting the people who really need it to get it, because at the end of the day, the objective is to assist those who really need it to get their education, So those are some of the works that are ongoing right now. Apart from that, of course, we have we were working on some wells last 2 weeks in Champan Ridge. I think we were there working, getting some wells to assist some of the farmers and people who need well, especially those who have their crops and stuff, We are waiting right now on the equipment to return back to Orange Walk. I have spoken to the minister yesterday, and she assured me that she'll be looking into it to get that truck here. We have about, I would want to say about 5 people who really need it for their crops. You know, we are going through a very dry time here in the country, I would want to say.
Yes,
and so we are working on those things, but definitely...
And something that needs to be given a lot of attention. Actually, as a matter of fact, it was about a week ago, we had the presence of one of the technicians here talking about what we need to do given the climate change that we're seeing recently. Because of late, look, it's already July, haven't received all the rains that we should have received. And the cane issue needs to be addressed.
Of course.
Vegetable issue needs to be addressed. If it doesn't rain within a month or so, you can call this crop dead for vegetables and other items.
It is needed right now.
The season is dead.
Yeah.
So because of the lack of rain. But we must take a break right now. We have to go on a break, and we'll be right back with you after these messages. Let's take that break.
Everybody wants a clean and healthy family. That's why they purchase the best food products and the cleansing materials. This time, we give you a bigger size of La Costeña products like the mouth-watering fried beans and the pasta sauce. And surely for your clean laundry, we have the breathtaking aroma of Ensueño Max Suavitel. Even your visitors will ask what you clean your floors and restrooms with. And you can boast it is the variety of Pinol products and Sultan muriatic acid now in 900 milliliters. And much more for the best prices only at German Vega and Sons Imports. We serve you at number 5 San Antonio Road, Orange Walk Town. You can even call us at 322-3625 or 322-2672. Or you can even send us a fax at 322-2571 or email us at germanvega@btl.net. German Vega and Sons Limited, because we care for you.
Motor 5.0, 4 válvulas por cilindro. Todos quisiéramos una. Como que no agarra, ¿no? Siento como que se le pega el... ¿Balancín? Vamos a darte el aceite que te mereces. Vas a correr como rayo, preciosa.
Los que oímos más allá de las revoluciones, hablamos máquina. Roche-France, poniendo el mundo a funcionar.
Agente autorizado German Vega y Sons. Teléfono 322-3625. Roche-France.
On Wednesday, May 8th, Belizeans soundly decided to take the unfounded Guatemalan claim to the International Court of Justice, the ICJ. According to the special agreement, this is what happens next. 1. By June 8, 2019, the government of Belize will submit the 2008 special agreement to the ICJ. Guatemala has already done so since their referendum was held in 2018. This will give the ICJ official authority to hear the dispute and to deliver a final binding result. The ICJ will then prepare a notice of when the trial will commence. 2. Next, Guatemala will have up to 1 year, that's 12 months, to submit their case to the ICJ. 3. Belize will then have up to 1 year, that's 12 months, to respond to Guatemala's submission. 4. From there, Guatemala will be given up to 6 months to reply to our arguments, and 5. Belize will then have up to 6 months thereafter to reply to Guatemala's response. 6. After the period of written arguments ends, the ICJ may allow additional pleadings, including oral arguments, and would set deadlines for those. 7. Once the timeline for arguments has ended, the ICJ will deliberate and make a ruling in accordance with the instructions and authorities granted to them by Belize and Guatemala, as per the 2008 special agreement. 8. After the ICJ's ruling is delivered, Belize and Guatemala will have 3 months to establish a joint commission to physically demarcate the boundaries between the two countries in accordance with the ICJ's ruling. The entire process will take no less than 4 years and can be as many as 6 years. This ICJ process will bring a final end to this long-standing Belize-Guatemala dispute. Belize and Guatemala will be able to put old divisions and antagonisms behind us and ensure that peace, development, and cooperation prevail.
The Philip Goldson Highway between Belize City and the Philip Goldson International Airport is getting a major facelift to the tune of $31.5 million. Section B of the highway upgrading project between Haulover Bridge and the Buttonwood Bay Boulevard roundabout is underway at an investment of $21 million. Works consist of the full rehabilitation of the road to paved standard, which includes the widening of the road to 4 lanes, lined sidewalks and drains, wide shoulders, median, and parking plus a bus lane at designated sections of the road. LED road lighting will be installed along with road safety features such as signs, reflectors, and road markings. The project will also facilitate in the improvement of underground infrastructure for the public utility companies. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
You have an 8-cylinder powerful engine disguised as an aluminum alloy that spins at 8,000 revolutions per minute.
Goes like this. You think it's a turbo?
No, with a cleaning of injectors and a change of oil, you will run more efficient, my friend.
For those who understand the engine like it talks to you, we speak machine. Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Bienvenidos de vuelta al Sugar City Morning Show. Son las 9 menos 11 minutos y hoy es el 31 de julio, fin de mes. Aquí estamos con el ministro Elodio Aragón y voy a platicar tantito en español porque sé que él no es tan fluente en español. Pero no obstante el hecho que se perdieron algunas aldeas, el ministro continúa con su compromiso con la gente del este. Y esto no solo son promesas, es un compromiso. Es más, son hechos. Cada aldea se ha visto impactada de una forma u otra por varios proyectos, también sea por las luces en el área o por el desarrollo de la cancha de fútbol o por decir un edificio comunal, un centro comunal, algo por el estilo. Eso es su compromiso que él tiene con la gente del este. Y personas así que tienen este compromiso para ver que se alce el nivel de vida de la gente es comendable y se debe de felicitar. Por eso lo tenemos aquí, para que él entonces hable acerca de sus proyectos. Y aún así que hemos hablado, even though, and we're shifting to English now, even though we have not finished and a lot has been done, Minister, you still have had clinic to talk about.
Yes, of course. We still got a few more things.
You still have a form, so things not done.
Oh, well, there's a lot of work ongoing, tremendous work ongoing. But, it's good for us to come out and highlight some of the work that is being done.
Mm-hmm. Can we take this message?
Yeah, sure.
Sugar City Morning Show, good morning.
Once again, morning, Minister.
Yeah, morning.
Just want to stick a pin. I worked the Rainbow Keys constituency politically for several years, some years back. So this is not hearsay, it's my personal experience. It is not uncommon for all the villages to be won by a PUP village council and the standard bearer, which is from an opposing party, to win the general election. What I'm saying is that I have worked at division for several years, and I know that at a time when our village council or POP, the then Honorable Elijah Ragon Sr. won the general election with all the villages being POP, village council administered. So it is not uncommon, it would not surprise me that that has not changed. I repeat, this is not hearsay. I worked at division for several years and won the general election with all village council being PUP. It's not uncommon. So I just wanted to stick up in here.
Yeah. Okay,
Thank you very much, sir. His point very clear.
Yeah, you know, and to add, you know, that is why I'm saying, Emmanuel, it is about knowing your people on the ground. You know, I'm confident in Carmelita. I'm confident because I know the work we have done, the connection and the true relationship we have with the people. I understand that fully well. I know in terms of other villages where we have those same relationship and connection. So I am confident in terms of how we are going to move forward. And like I said, at the end of the day, the biggest battle in this is that of the general election. You know, everything in between, they're just in between. But at the end of the day, the most important election will be the general election that will be coming up. And like I said, we'll be prepared for that. And I listen to the caller and understand his sentiments. But definitely, you know, a lot of people like to say, well, politics is about perception, likewise too. And I agree with that too. You know, but at the end of the day, it is about the big dance, which is the general election next year. And I want people to know we'll be prepared at that time, definitely, without a doubt. And we will do what we have to do to secure that victory. So, but, you know, we need to get back. I want to finish up before the time go, and I know you already given me the idea. But definitely, I just want to also state that, you know, when we left off, we were talking about the wells that we are working on. And I just want the people out there who are waiting for the equipment to come in, as soon as that gets here, we will go out there and drill these wells for you. We have about five more people in Champaridge who have applied and everything, and we are going to get that done for them. And this is continuous work, you know, because we're out here trying to support farmers. You know, we have had our challenges. Some of the wells, you know, have to go deeper. We need a bigger rig and all of these things. But the important thing is that we are working with you and to get these wells done. And I feel so proud to know that when, you know, we strike water and people get their water, you know, that is a fulfillment for them. And I feel so proud that we are able to assist you in that endeavor. Apart from that, of course, we continue to have our what we do, our East Community Outreach Clinics that we do. We're in, this is, I think, some of the pictures of the wells that we've been drilling for farmers. We have, like I said, about 5 other wells. You know, and that is ongoing work, Emmanuel, and people might think that is a simple thing, but it does take time for us to get out there and drill these wells, etc. And I feel good to know that
this is obviously for those farmers who want to have wells in their farm,
given the drought and all of that,
and given the drought conditions,
for their cattle, not only for the plants, it's for the cattle and all of these things. So we feel good about it, you know, and we have a couple more that will be done. Is there a cost
that associated
Yes,
with
of course, there's a small cost. They have to get. What we do, I go and liaise with the local government to be able to bring the equipment down, and whatever cost is involved in bringing that equipment, diesel, etc., we find it, and then all we ask is for them to get their pipes and their pump together, and then we do the well for them. You know?
Pipes and their pump. Oh, you need a pump.
So they get their own stuff, and you know, it's at no extra cost to the farmer, except that what he needs to buy. And he can't get a better deal than that anywhere else in the country. So we do that to assist them. And of course we have, like I was telling you, our health clinics that we are doing in Carmelita. We were there this weekend. And it's a East Community Outreach. This is a registered organization that we have registered, and this has been registered about maybe 3 years now or more. And what we do with this is that we work in collaboration with Ms. Lupe Ak and doctors from elsewhere, and we bring them. And we have been, this is a program that if you see the doctors in your community, 98% is because it is coming through the East Community Outreach program that we have. And this is bringing doctors from abroad to assist with our community in terms of general checkups, even specialized
When's the last
checkups
time you
and
had a
stuff.
clinic for general? Just
Carmelita, just this weekend.
Just this weekend.
Yes, this weekend. These are the footage there. They were in Santa Marta, and of course we had Santa Marta, and then I think they were also in Carmelita. So there are pictures out there in terms of, and people know because they are informed and they come out. And I will tell you, these doctors come down and really do a tremendous work, and I must big up Ms. Lupeak for her tremendous effort in terms of being able to coordinate all of this. It takes time and stuff, and we're always assisting her. But this is the way we are able to get the much needed medical attention to our communities out there. And I just want to say these are some of the work that are ongoing always. So definitely right now we're in the month of August now. We want to finish up those wells like I mentioned to you. We'll continue with the expansion of the light thing that is taking place in Carmelita. This month we are going to go into Palmar as promised to work on the expansion of some roads out there and other works that we have to do. Electricity again will be out there. Very soon we'll have BL going out there to expand in terms of power and lights. So these are some of the things we are going to work on, and of course we got to begin to prepare for September celebrations. It's coming up right here in September, and of course we want to also prepare for the Aragon's Christmas Cup that will come right after. Usually it starts at the end of September, So these are some of the things that we are going to look forward in this coming month. But thus far, the work continues, and I just want people to know, because a lot of people say, this and that. When it comes to me, it's always about our community. It's always about trying to do what is in the greater good of our community, as opposed to the greater good of one or two persons, I stand by that, because at the end of the day, it is how we move forward. And right now, there's a lot of good things happening. And I think the recruitment of the police intake is taking place right now. I wish that would have been maybe 400 people. They would have been taking in. They are taking in, I think, about 140 people right now. Very challenging, because you had about close to 1,900 people.
That's exactly right.
That applied, and then you have also we have the BDF that are taking in people, the Coast Guard. So those are good things, creating employment for people. Always a challenge, because there's more that would like to get in. And of course next year, I think next year we have already budgeted for a new squad likewise, so that should be good for the police. And apart from that, of course, we have all the other projects that will be taking place. And I see next year, because a lot of things the groundwork will start this year, but we will not see the work until maybe next year. And some of these works has to do, like the great news in terms of what will happen in terms of the Taiwanese support in terms of getting the road paved from Corozal to Sarteneja, along with the two bridges. And of course the work through the Kuwaiti Fund that will be done from Orange Walk to Sarteneja, the paving of that road. Tremendous work will happen in the north in terms of these two roads. And of course you have the coastal highway that will be paved, the road from Cayo to Caracol,
But isn't also the highway going to be redone?
And the highway will be redone, So all of these things will be tremendous, I think, for Orange Walk and for this country. And of course, we need to talk about the new high school for Carmelita that should be coming, and of course the police station I mentioned will start this year. So and we haven't even touched about Louisiana. Louisiana is getting a spanking new building of $1.4 million. To expand the primary school.
Louisiana Government School.
Yes, that will be there, and so, and we not even touch about technical yet. Technical, I would want to boast ahead of time that it will become the biggest high school in the country nearly. Yes, after all the development that they will get in terms of new buildings that will come down there. Yes, so there's a lot of great things happening here. And of course, we continue, like I said, with the educational support that we are giving to our communities. So there's a lot of things happening, and I feel good about it, because it's all about looking at your track record and seeing all the work you've accomplished. And like I've always said, in the villages, we've spoken a lot. And anybody who lives in those villages could tell you, they could compare the last 25 to 30 years compared to the last 5 years of me being there, and they will, the difference is as clear as what is night to day. and I feel proud of that, because it's not only about what I can say that I have impacted upon, but it is about how we have improved the quality of life in our communities, how we have uplifted these people. You know, much more people are going from Santa Marta coming to high school. Tremendous difference. I remember when I went out there, it's maybe 1 or 2 students. Right now you have at least up to upwards of 10 or more people coming. So it is a tremendous growth, and I feel good about these things, because it goes down to moving our communities forward in this country.
Sugar City Morning Show, let's take this last call. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
I just wanted to pick up the minister.
Of course, go ahead.
All right. Well, just want to tell him that he's doing a very great job, and that he has the support of his people. Whether he knows it or not, he has the support, and that he's doing a great job. And we want to big him up and make sure he continues doing the great work that he's been doing for all of us.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Minister's already 2 minutes past 9. Closing remarks.
Well, I just want to say that we continue to work in the Orange Walk East constituency. I ask all of our supporters, our UDP supporters out there, to remain strong and be confident that the big dance will come next year. Whenever that is called, we'll be prepared, and we are counting on your support. And I've asked everybody out there to know that the United Democratic Party, it will be going for its 4th term. And going for a 4th term is not easy, and we must rely on the support of the people. At the end of the day, no matter what the PUP propaganda is out there, no matter what amount of money they bring, at the end of the day, it is a decision for the nation, for the people of this country to make. And I sincerely believe, and I'm hoping that especially with our UDP supporters out there, those who have supported this party, you supported the party from the onset and up to now, because you believe in what the party stands for. And I will be the first to tell you, the United Democratic Party is not a perfect party, but it is a better party over what the PUP is now. And we can never go back to the PUP, especially now that they continue to remain and be the people who were the architects of corruption when they were there in office. And so we must never forget the reason why why this country departed from the PUP and went to the United Democratic Party. And the United Democratic Party has remained steadfast in championing the causes in terms of the development and causes that will bring about greater upliftment to our communities across this country. The infrastructure continues, the support to education, and we have done all of this by remaining steadfast in our economy, keeping it strong and moving forward. And I won't say we don't have challenges. Of course, there's every country that has challenges, but I will say one thing. When you put and entrust the UDP with this country, you know that this country, although it steadily moves forward, it is going forward, while the PUP, you put it in their hands, you don't know what will happen. And they have proven that time and time again. And we can't go back to the wolves in sheep clothing, because that is what they are right now. And I've always told people, you just have to look at who they are, what they are doing now, and you can only expect what they will do if they ever get back in office. And I'm hoping that is not the case, that will not be the case, because I will tell you, if we do that, dog will eat our supper. And stay steadfast with your UDP, because your UDP government stands for the people, always.
Thank you, Minister. Muchas gracias al equipo de producción. Ya son las 9:05, pero rápidamente les quiero decir de que hoy se instala el concilio aldeano nuevo en San Esteban a las 10 de la mañana. Se le pide a todo aldeano de San Esteban que vaya a apoyar al nuevo concilio, y también a escuchar las noticias de que las luces que se prometieron hasta ya se instalaron. Ayer conseguí mensajes de que ya se hizo. Así que este equipo no pierda tiempo. Ellos están ahí para trabajar para ustedes. Por favor, apóyenlos. Al equipo de producción, muchas gracias. A Rahim, a Chequi, a todos allá atrás en cabina. A ustedes importantemente. A ustedes que permiten este mensaje llegar hasta lo más íntimo de sus hogares. Muchas gracias. Hoy es miércoles, mañana jueves. Mañana ya tendremos a otros invitados, también el viernes. Así que primero Dios, a propósito, este show repite por la noche a las 9 y primero Dios estaremos con ustedes a las 7 de la mañana temprano. De nuevo, muchas gracias al ministro.
Thank you, hermano.
Y nos vemos entonces mañana a la misma hora, Dios mediante. Nos vemos. Se cuiden.
Sugar City Morning Show.